So in the Philippines, employment is governed by the Labor Code, which categorizes employment into several types. These include regular, probationary, freelance or project-based, seasonal, and casual employment. So each type comes with its own set of rules and regulations that protect both employers and employees. So let's break this down one by one. So hi everyone, my name is Dennis Hilario and I give you my best thoughts and tips about business processes and digital transformation. So welcome back to the podcast and this channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. So back in 2003, when I first started hiring for our software business, I made the mistake of defaulting to regular employees without considering other options like freelancers or project-based workers. So this led to a major cash flow problem as I found myself paying full-time employees regardless of whether we had active projects. So by 2007, I had no choice but to let go, all of them due to the financial strain. So that experience taught me valuable lessons, and since then, I've aligned our hiring strategy with our financial position, ensuring a more flexible and sustainable approach to staffing. So today, we're diving into a crucial topic for both employers and employees in the Philippines, the different types of employment. So understanding this will help you navigate your rights and responsibilities in the workplace. So let's get started. So first up, we have regular employment. This is the most common type of employment, where the employee is engaged in work that is usually necessary or desirable in its employer's business. So after a probationary period, which we'll discuss shortly, employees automatically become regular if they meet the employer's standards. Regular employees enjoy a lot of job security. They can only be dismissed for just or authorized cost, and they're entitled to all the standard benefits such as SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, 13th-month pay, and various leaves like vacation and sick leave. Regular employees cannot be dismissed without just or authorized cause and due process. Next is let's talk about probationary employment. When you first start a job, you're often placed on probation. So this period can last up to 6 months. And during this time, the employer evaluates your performance based on clear standards they must communicate to you at the start. So if you meet those standards, you become a regular employee after the probationary period. If you don't, the employer can terminate your contract, but they must do so with due process. It's important to note that during probation, you're still entitled to mandatory benefits like SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. Next is project-based employment. So this type of employment is tied to a specific project with a defined end date. It's common in industries like construction, IT, and events planning. So once the project ends, so does the employment. But here's the key point. You can be rehired for a new project immediately after the previous one ends. So each project-based contract is considered a new employment period. So keep that in mind. Next is seasonal employment. So this is for jobs that are tied to certain seasons or periods when there's an increase in business activity. Think of agricultural workers during harvest season or retail staff during the holiday rush. Employees are usually rehired when the season comes around again. So during the season, you're entitled to benefits proportional to your period of employment. And if you work for more than one season, you could be considered a regular employee for that particular activity. Next is we have casual employment. This is for temporary work that doesn't exceed 1 year and isn't part of regular business operations. So casual employees are often hired for short-term or sporadic tasks. If a casual employee ends up working for more than a year, they might be considered regular concerning that the specific activity they were hired for. So even though it starts as a temporary gig, it could lead to something more permanent. Next are freelancers. Freelancers are not classified as employees of the clients they work for. They are independent contractors, meaning they offer their services to clients without being bound by the same labor laws that apply to traditional employees like minimum wage benefits, SSS PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, etc. Freelancers typically work based on contracts for specific projects, tasks, or periods. The terms of the relationship, including payment deadlines and deliverables, are agreed upon in the contract, but are outside the scope of typical labor regulations governing employee-employer relationships. Freelancers do not have the same job security as regular employees. Once a project or contract is completed, the relationship with the client ends unless both parties agree to renew or extend the arrangement. Freelancers manage their own work schedules, clients, and rates. They're not subject to direct supervision of an employer, as traditional employees are. They're usually paid per project, per task, or on time-bound basis. They invoice clients for the work they complete and are responsible for managing their own taxes and social security contributions. Unlike employees, freelancers are responsible for securing their own health insurance, retirement benefits, and social security contributions. They can voluntarily contribute to these government programs as self-employed individuals, but it's not mandated by a client as it would be for employees. So basically, freelancers don't enjoy labor protections such as overtime pay, night shift differentials, or separation pay. Their rights and responsibilities are governed by the terms of their contract rather than the labor laws that apply to formal employees. So employers today have more flexibility than ever when building their workforce, from full-time employees and to freelancers and contractors. So each type of employment offers unique advantages that can be strategically leveraged based on companies' needs. So we have to understand the benefits of various employment types so to allow your business to optimize your operations, manage costs, and enhance productivity. Let's now talk about the different advantages of full-time employees, probationary, freelance, and against any other employment types. So again, full-time employees are the backbone of many organizations, providing a stable, dedicated workforce that can focus on long-term goals. From an employer's perspective, full-time employment offers several key advantages. Number one is commitment and loyalty. They're more likely to be committed to the company's success. They typically build stronger relationships with colleagues and customers, leading to higher levels of engagement and loyalty. With full-time staff, businesses can ensure consistency in operations and maintain high-quality service or product delivery. Employees are familiar with company processes, policies, and culture, which helps minimize errors and inefficiencies. So, full-time employees are also more likely to stay long-term, allowing employers to invest in training and development. So this investment can lead to a more skilled workforce, improve internal promotion opportunities, and reduce hiring costs. Full-time employees contribute significantly to the development and maintenance of a strong company culture. They're more involved into the day-to-day activities and decision-making processes, which fosters a sense of ownership and belonging. However, the cost of providing benefits and ensuring employee retention can be higher in full-time employment, making it essential for employers to balance these factors with business needs. Next is part-time employment, like the casual or the seasonal employees. So part-time employees offer flexibility without the full-time commitment, and they can be particularly beneficial for businesses that have fluctuating or seasonal demands. So the advantages include, number one, cost efficiency. So part-time workers typically don't require the same level of benefits as full-time employees, which can result in significant cost savings, especially for small businesses. Employers can use part-time staff to cover peak times, ensuring adequate staffing during busy periods without the expense of full-time wages. So this flexibility helps optimize labor costs. Part-time employees can be hired for specific roles that don't require full-time attention. For example, administrative support, social media management, or customer service roles might not demand 40 hours per week. Part-time positions often attract a different talent pool, such as students, parents, or professionals looking for supplementary income. Employers can tap into this diverse group to bring in fresh perspective and skills, while part-time workers may not be as deeply integrated into the company culture. They provide a valuable resource for handling specific tasks and managing workload variability. Alright, so next is freelancers. So freelancers, on the other hand, have become an essential part of modern workforce, especially in industries like tech, marketing, and design. Employers increasingly turn to freelancers for project-based work. And here is why. Number one is access to specialized expertise. So freelancers often bring a high level of expertise in their field. Employers can hire them for short-term projects that require specific skills without the commitment of hiring full-time staff. Freelancers are typically paid per project or on an hourly basis, and employers don't need to provide benefits such as health insurance or retirement plans. So this can significantly reduce overhead cost. Next is scalability. So freelancers allow businesses to scale their workforce up or down depending on project demands without the need for long-term contracts. So this scalability is particularly useful for startups or businesses experiencing growth. Next is fresh ideas and innovation. So freelancers often work with a variety of clients, exposing them to new ideas and techniques. They can bring fresh perspective and innovative solutions that in-house teams might not consider. However, freelancers may not always be available or committed as full-time staff, so employers need to manage expectations and ensure clear communication regarding deadlines and deliverables. So hiring freelancers or even employees on a contract basis is becoming more common, particularly for companies that need to fill temporary or project-specific roles. The advantages of employers on contract basis is number one, flexibility without long-term commitment. So contract workers can be hired for a set duration or for specific projects, giving employers flexibility to manage fluctuating workloads or temporary staffing needs without committing to a permanent hire. So these contractors, again, freelancers, are often highly skilled professionals who specialize in certain areas such as IT, engineering, and project management. Employers can access top-tier talent for critical projects without the cost of full-time employment. In many cases, contract workers are responsible for their own benefits and taxes, reducing administrative burden on employers. So this setup can also lower long-term costs related to severance, retirement, or unemployment insurance. Contractors, or again freelancers, usually have a short onboarding process as they are hired for their expertise. So this allows employers to bring in talent to complete projects without extensive training. So the challenge for employers is that contractors may not integrate into the company culture as deeply, but for short-term or specialized needs, this is often less of a concern. I'd like to talk about another option. It's what we call gig workers. Often, these are hired through platforms like Upwork or Fiverr. So these platforms offer an on-demand solution for businesses needing help with short-term tasks or micro projects. The key advantages for employees here include, number one, immediate access to workers. So these gig platforms allow employers to quickly find workers for short-term tasks, whether it's delivering goods, setting up an event, or handling a temporary surge in demand. Second is no long-term commitments. So gig workers are typically hired for one-off tasks, which means employers can adjust staffing levels without any long-term obligations. So this can be particularly useful for businesses with highly variable workloads. So in many gig scenarios, workers are paid for completing specific tasks, reducing the risk of paying for idle time. So this performance-based model helps businesses control labor costs and optimize efficiency. Employers can access a wide range of skills on demand, from simple tasks to highly specialized services, without needing to invest in permanent staff or training. So the downside of gig work is that it may not be suitable for roles that require consistency, deep product knowledge, or long-term involvement, but it's an efficient solution for filling short-term needs. From full-time employees to gig workers, each employment type brings its own set of advantages for employers. By strategically leveraging these different forms of employment, businesses can optimize labor costs, gain access to specialized talent, and maintain flexibility to respond to changing market conditions. The key is understanding your business needs and finding the right balance of employment types to drive success. So I hope this video helped you understand the different types of employment here in the Philippines. If you found this video useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends or colleagues who might benefit from this information. And again, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast or channel for more content like this. And also, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in the future videos, drop them in the comments below. So we love hearing from you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. DX Your Life and Business. Have a great day.